We have 30 unbelievable facts about Namibia you never knew. Let's go ahead and check this one out, guys. It's been a minute since we checked out a fact video on an African country. I have actually been to Namibia, a very, very beautiful place. I went to where the ocean meets the desert. Fire place, man. Fire. If you haven't visited, make sure you guys go visit Namibia. But let's go ahead and check this video out, bro.
This is Namibia, a place where lions hunt seals on beaches, where plants that are older than some religions and meteorites are so massive that nobody's ever moved them. Namibia is far more incredible than most of the world realizes, but today, that changes. Fact 30. Starting from the name itself, the word Namib means vast place in the Kakagawab language. And with 81,000 square kilometers of sand, rock, and silence, it earns that name completely. The Namib Desert is the oldest desert on Earth, at least 55 to 80 million years old. The Sahara, by comparison, is a toddler at roughly 5 to 7 million years. Fact 29. Now, along the coast, we're talking about 500 kilometers of Atlantic shoreline. You've got the Skeleton Coast. And if that name sounds terrifying, it's because it should. This is one of the deadliest coastlines in the world. Thousands of ships have wrecked here. Literally thousands. It's a graveyard of vessels. Fact 28. The Hoba meteorite near Grootfontein is the largest known intact meteorite on Earth, weighing over 60 tons. It is so heavy it has never been moved from where it landed, approximately 80,000 years ago. Hoba is roughly double the size of the world's second largest meteorite, Anahito from Greenland. It's the heavyweight champion of meteorites, and it's just chilling in the middle of the desert. Nothing else on Earth comes close.
That's crazy.
Fact 27. But wait, it gets weirder. 46 kilometers from where that meteorite landed, there's a lake. And we're talking about the world's largest known subterranean lake. It's in Dragon's Breath Cave, and I love that name, by the way, Dragon's Breath. It sounds like something from a fantasy movie. But no, it's real. You walk onto Harsib Farm, you go down into the darkness, and you find this shimmering body of water that covers nearly 5 acres. 2 football fields of water, underground and hidden. Fact 26. When you see Namibia on a map, you see a white mark on it. Then, my friend, you just have figured out the Etosha Pan. Etosha Pan is the largest continuous standalone salt pan in Africa. Etosha means Great White Place in the Ovambo language, and it is so massive that it covers roughly 23% of the entire Etosha National Park and can be clearly seen by astronauts in orbit. Fact 25. Okay, so Namibia itself, the whole country, is massive. It is the 34th largest country in the world, bigger than France and the UK combined. But here's the thing. It's the second least densely populated country on Earth after
I promise you, bro. Like when I went to Namibia, there was nobody there, fam. There was nobody in Namibia, dog.
So you've got this giant country with over 3 million people spread out like butter on toast. That's 3.7 people per square kilometer. Some farmers in Namibia have properties larger than Luxembourg. The interior is vast, dry, and almost impossibly remote. Fact 24. Even in this vast emptiness, things survive. There is a plant which can only be found in Namib Desert, and it is a living botanical marvel, the Welwitschia mirabilis. It is considered one of the strangest plants on Earth. It has exactly 2 leaves, and those 2 leaves never stop growing for its entire life. A Welwitschia lives for an estimated 500 to 2,000 years. Some individuals in the Namib are believed to be older than Christianity. People gave it the title of the immortal plant. Fact 23. Now let's jump from the desert to another world completely. This is the Caprivi Strip. It was created in 1890 when Germany traded Heligoland with Britain in exchange for this corridor. Now here's the thing that will transform your perception of Namibia. The Caprivi Strip is the only part of Namibia with a subtropical climate, lush vegetation, and permanent rivers. It feels like an entirely different country because geographically and ecologically, it almost is. Fact 22. Fish River Canyon is the largest canyon in Africa, stretching 160 kilometers long, up to 27 kilometers wide, and dropping 550 meters deep. The Fish River Canyon was carved not by one force, but two. First by tectonic faulting roughly 500 million years ago, and then slowly deepened by the Fish River over hundreds of millions of years. That's a scar with a story. Fact 21.
Bruh.
In the middle of all this harshness, elephants evolved into something completely different. Namibia is one of the 2 countries on our planet where elephants are fully adapted to hyper-arid or desert conditions. They're leaner, they have bigger feet, and they can walk 70 kilometers in a single day looking for water. But here's the insane part. They can survive 4 days without drinking. The largest land animals on the planet in one of the harshest places on Earth. Fact 20. Near a town called Caracas, there's this place, the Petrified Forest. And it's basically a graveyard of massive fossilized tree trunks. Some of them are over 30 meters long, just lying there in the desert. And they're 260 million years old, from the Permian era, even before dinosaurs. Think about that. These trees were alive when dinosaurs didn't even exist.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. There's a lot of old stuff in Namibia, bruh. What the heck?
Fact 19. The capital of Namibia, Windhoek, is
trees,
actually really clean
them
and well
plants.
organized. It's consistently ranked as one of the most livable cities in Africa, which is kind of amazing when you realize it's sitting on a dry plateau at 1,700
That's exactly where I visited, y'all. And I promise you, there ain't many people there, bruh.
meters elevation. So you've got this oasis of human organization and cleanliness in the middle of emptiness. People figured out how to build something great here. That's actually impressive. Fact 18. Namibia has some of the best roads in Africa. And I mean that. They're wide, they're well maintained, and they're almost always completely empty. You can drive for hours, and I mean hours, without seeing another car. The country built infrastructure for a population that doesn't exist. It's like the roads are built for ghosts. Fact 17.
swear, bro.
When Namibia became independent in 1990, the government made a decision. They chose English as the official language. Their reasoning was pretty smart, actually. English wasn't connected to any of the local communities, so it would be neutral, a unifying language. Except, only about 3% of the population speaks English as a first
I think they speak Afrikaans, if I'm not mistaken. I think most of Namibia speak Afrikaans.
language. German, Afrikaans, Oshiwambo, those are the languages people actually use. So the government chose a voice that nobody actually speaks. Fact 16. The Himba people live in northwest Namibia, and they're some of the most photographed indigenous
The Himba
communities
tribe,
in the world.
yeah.
They cover their skin in something called ogiza, a mixture of ochre, butterfat, and herbs that gives them this distinctive red color and actually protects them from the sun and insects. Pretty smart, right? They're semi-nomadic pastoralists who followed the same traditional practices for centuries. In one of the most remote regions on Earth, they've basically said, this is who we are, and we're staying that way. Massive respect for that. Fact 15. Okay, this is actually insanely beautiful. Namibia is one of the few places in the world where the desert literally meets the ocean.
Bruh, and I'm telling y'all, it's probably one of the most beautiful things that I've seen in person, bruh. Like, literally, you look one way, it's a desert, like, and it looks like the desert goes on and on and on. Then you look the other way, and it's the ocean, bruh. And of course, you know, the ocean looks like it goes on and on and on. And you're just in the middle of these two totally different landscapes, bruh. It's beautiful, bruh.
The massive golden dunes of the Namib don't stop at some boundary, they go right down to the Atlantic. If you ever stand there and watch it, it's one of those moments that changes how you see the planet. You've got 80 million years of desert meeting this cold, crashing ocean. It shouldn't be that perfect, but it is.
It is.
Fact 14. Now comes a fact for movie freaks. The most acclaimed action film of the 21st century, Mad Max Fury Road, was filmed largely in Namibia's Namib Desert. The dunes and gravel plains of the Namib became the post-apocalyptic wasteland. The world's most ancient desert played the end of the world. Fact 13. There's an impact crater in Namibia that most people have never heard of. Rotor Cam. It's in the Spergebiet Desert. 2.5 kilometers wide, formed about 5 million years ago when a meteorite came screaming out of space and hit the ground.
Oh.
So you've got one giant space rock that landed and never moved, and you've got another spot where space literally crashed into the planet. Namibia's got a lot of space drama. Fact 12.
Namibia just got a lot going on, bro. When it comes to just like back in the day, bro, like the trees, like we said, the plants, these meteors, come on, fam. Like
The Waterberg Plateau is honestly cool. It's like nature made a geological layer cake. The top layer has fossilized dinosaur tracks from the Triassic era 200 million years ago. You can see the actual footprints of creatures that have been dead for 200 million years.
Hey, Namibia got history,
underneath
bro.
that, rock that's 850 million years old. So you're standing on something that dates back to when Earth was basically unrecognizable. And above you are the footprints of dinosaurs. It's a sandwich of time. Fact 11. Elephants move between Namibia and Botswana's Zambezi region with zero respect for international borders. No fences, no checkpoints. Because the conservation area was deliberately designed to let them do this. And apparently, elephants don't care about the lines humans drew on maps. Fact 10. Namibia produces uranium. A lot of it. We're talking about the third largest uranium producer on the planet. Only Kazakhstan and Canada produce more. Every year, Namibia churns out between 11 and 12% of the world's total uranium supply. That uranium gets shipped to nuclear reactors in Europe, Asia, North America. The lights stay on in 3 continents because of mines in the Namib Desert. That's kind of insane when you think about it. This empty, ancient desert is quietly powering the modern world. Fact 9. The sand bushmen of Namibia are literally some of the greatest trackers in human history. And I don't mean they're good at following footprints. I mean they can look at a single print and tell you what animal made it, how old that animal is, whether it's healthy, what mood it's in. They can follow trails over rocky ground where there are literally no visible prints. They're using this knowledge right now in the 21st century, working with scientists and anti-poaching units. Their 100,000-year-old tracking knowledge is saving endangered rhinos from poachers. Satellite technology can't protect them, but a sand tracker can. Fact 8. Geologists took rock samples from Namibia and rock samples from southern Brazil. Same mineral chemistry, same isotopic signatures, same age. They're literally pieces of the same volcanic eruption, except they're separated by 6,000 kilometers of ocean. Because 132 million years ago, Namibia and Brazil were the same place. They were part of a supercontinent called Gondwana, and then
Gondwana. I could have swore it was called Pangea, y'all. They must have lied to us at school because I ain't never heard of Gondwana.
The continent split. Africa and South America ripped apart, and when they did, they left identical volcanic scars on both sides. You're looking at the fingerprints of when the planet literally tore itself in half, and both sides kept the scars. Fact 7.
Bro, was it not Pangea, y'all? Or am I tripping? I can't be tripping, bro. Pangea, bro. I've always heard of Gondwana. What was that?
Powdam National Park in northeast Namibia is one of the least visited national parks in Africa. There are no tarmac roads inside it, no tourist facilities, and no phone signal. Visitors who enter without a GPS and sufficient fuel have become seriously lost. But if you are visiting, you have to do these things no matter what. You must travel in a convoy of at least 2 4x4 vehicles for safety because the tracks consist of heavy, uncompacted Kalahari sand that can easily trap standard vehicles. You must carry all your own water, food, firewood, mechanical spares, and extra fuel. And a satellite phone or GPS tracker is vital. Fact 6. Now we've got Bwabwata National Park, and this is actually incredible. Over 5,000 people live legally inside this national park. They farm and graze cattle. And all around them, elephants, lions, leopards, actual megafauna, living in the same space, sharing the land. And somehow, it works. Fact 5. In the town of Luderitz, there's a water tower, built in 1912 by German colonial authorities, Art Nouveau style, and it still supplies water to the town in the middle of the Namib Desert. While empires rose and fell, while continents shifted, while technology completely transformed civilization, that water tower just kept delivering water, and it's still doing its job. Respect for that level of engineering. Fact 4. The Hartman Valley is in far northwest Kayako land, and it's one of the most remote inhabited places in southern Africa. We're talking about a valley floor at the junction of the Kunene River, surrounded by some of the most rugged desert terrain on the continent, and you can only reach it by 4x4 after a full day of driving from the nearest town. Fact 3. Ovambo land is wild. It's this area that's flat, flood-prone, and seasonally waterlogged, and it's home to between 1.3 and 1.5 million people. That's roughly half of Namibia's entire population.
I was getting ready to say, that's where all the people are right there.
In one region. The Ovambo people figured out how to adapt to annual flooding. Their agriculture and their architecture works with the water. Fact 2.
But I wonder why they all there though. Like out of all, I mean, of course, most of this is desert. A lot of it is desert. But like, why there though? Out of all the places.
Namib Sand Sea is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and if you fly over it, it looks like a frozen ocean. The dunes form wave patterns, ridges and troughs that are so perfectly regular, so rhythmic, that astronauts have actually described it as flying over a rust-colored ocean that forgot to move. It's so geometric, so perfect, that it doesn't even feel real from space. Finally, fact 1. Namibia gets approximately 340 days of sunshine per year, on average, across the entire country. That's one of the highest solar irradiance rates of anywhere inhabited on Earth. In pure energy terms, the Namib receives more solar power per square meter per year than the Sahara. To put that in perspective, if we covered just 0.5% of Namibia's landmass with standard, modern solar panels, operating at about 20% efficiency, they would generate roughly 230 terawatt-hours of electricity per year.
How much is terawatt?
The Namib is one of the most energy-rich environment on the planet, but we just haven't figured out how to use it. There are no cables, no infrastructure. The desert sits there absolutely glowing with potential energy, and we're not even tapping into it. An ancient desert that's been waiting 80 million years, and it's still keeping the big secrets. So that's Namibia, just 30.
Hey, Namibia's wild, man. Hey, I learned a lot from this video, though. Like I said, I've actually been to Namibia, and it's a very beautiful place. It's definitely where the ocean meets the desert. Beautiful, guys, beautiful. But look, man, let me know your guys' thoughts. If you do live in Namibia, what is your thoughts? Did you learn something new about your own country? But hope you guys enjoy this one. Stay tuned and see y'all. Peace.